As the tributes for Peta Murphy continue to flow through, let's now bring in live Breast Cancer Network Australia's CEO, Kirsten Pilatti. Kirsten, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Plenty of people, as you heard there, mourning Peta Murphy today. She was first diagnosed with breast cancer when she was only 37. She then found out that she had this metastatic breast cancer 9 years later. Just how common is it for breast cancer to return? It must be just an awful threat hanging over breast cancer survivors for years after they get through their treatment.
It certainly is, and it's one of the real challenges when someone of a profile like Peta dies, that our whole network, every person who is diagnosed with breast cancer, is under the reality that we still lose too many people to this disease. Sadly, Ash, I can't answer your question about how many people are living with metastatic disease, and it's exactly what Peta was fighting for right up until Wednesday. On Wednesday in Parliament, we delivered a roadmap to the government and thankfully got bipartisan support to say, how do we make sure that we make the lives of those people with metastatic disease count? And Peta understood that we needed to shine a bright light into the darkest of corners and make sure that every person living with metastatic breast cancer, and in fact all cancers, are counted. So we've really given the government and everyone a pathway forward, so we hope that that will be her legacy.
Kirsten, there has been a lot to celebrate in terms of breast cancer research and improvements in treatments in recent years. The statistics tell us that we are getting much better at treating breast cancer. What is the broad story, though, in terms of survival rates if it does return down the track, if those who have their treatment for their initial cancer then find it coming back some years later? Are we also seeing improving results on that front, or is it still something that we need to get a lot better at?
We have incredible survival rates, but they're 5-year survival rates in Australia. So that means 5 years after you were first diagnosed, if the breast cancer hasn't returned, that will be for around 91%. As I said, we're not clear, but it is predicted very conservatively that around 10,000 people will be diagnosed with metastatic. So what that means is that their breast cancer has gone and moved outside of their breast to areas like their bone, their lung and their brain. And it means that they are treatable, but incurable. They will have treatment for the rest of their life. And that's why Peta's story is so remarkable, that she was so prepared to give of her story to make sure that others felt seen and less alone on their journey. So we have a long way to go in Australia. 8 families today will also be grieving the loss of their loved one. And so I know Peta said to me, we got to remember all of those people every day that we lose to breast cancer. So we still have a long way to go, and many people think that breast cancer is done, but today is a stark reminder that we have a long, long way to go.
Kirsten Pilatti, really appreciate your reflections and your work in this area. Thank you. Peta Murphy, of course, will be remembered, and she was such a strong advocate in that area. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ash, and love and support to everyone, because we know that the death of a loved one is not just for the immediate family, but for Peta's staff in the Dunkley office and for all of the community of Dunkley. This is a very hard day.
Yeah, our thoughts with all of her loved ones. Thank you, Kirsten.